Welcome back to Oracle Code Singapore. My name's Connor McDonald. I'm with the developer community team. We're doing some interviewing with the various speakers today at Oracle Code Singapore to get what their passions are, what their talks are about, and what engages them in terms of their IT landscape. I'm with Dimitri Gielis today. He's a Apex developer, Apex man extraordinaire. But I'll let Dimitri say, where are you from, Dimitri, and what do you do?
Okay, so Connor, I'm from Belgium. This is far away from Singapore. And I love the Oracle database and I love Oracle Apex, so this is what I do all the way. So I have a company specializing in Oracle Application Express. So we do development, training, consulting, and we have a solution for printing.
Did you come straight from Belgium to Singapore?
I flew through Dubai.
Oh, okay, so Emirates.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's very good.
I'm a big fan of Emirates. I like Emirates. So you and I were at Apex Connect, which is an Application Express conference in Germany, and we were talking to a whole lot of Application Express developers, and they're often known as like some of the most passionate Oracle sort of professionals on the planet. But for those people here who are more interested in or have a greater experience in things like Java and more middle tier languages, can you give me a description of what Application Express is and what the appeal is?
Okay, so Application Express lives in the Oracle database, and if you have an Oracle database, you have Oracle Application Express. The goal of Oracle Application Express is to build rapidly applications for the web. The only thing you need is a browser, so you develop with a browser, and it's completely built in and tied into the database. But since shortly, they also have like REST web services, so you can call data from elsewhere. So basically, with Apex, you build applications really fast, mostly database-driven applications.
Okay. And so what is Application Express like? Is it a separate product you have to buy, or?
No, so it comes with the Oracle database. It's a no-cost option of the Oracle database. So if you have the free version of Oracle XE, Apex is for free. If you have Oracle Enterprise Edition, Apex is there. You just install it, and that's it.
Okay. You mentioned XE. Just a shout out to those watching, people who have been waiting for 18C XE. That'll probably be coming out sometime later on this year. But as a 100% free database you can use with no restrictions. It has all the abilities and all the functions of Enterprise Edition baked in, just restrictions on CPU and storage and the like, but Application Express will be in that as well. You mentioned Application Express. I've used Application Express a bit, and I think it's just like amazing. You know, I've worked at places where people say it'll be 2 weeks to build a screen in some other technology, and within an hour we've built it in Application Express, and it's secure, it's fast, it's robust. What are some of the shortcomings of Application Express that sometimes hinder adoption?
Yeah, so maybe I first need to explain a little bit the technology behind Application Express. So the main building blocks are SQL and PL SQL, but then Apex is using or building HTML5 applications. So we are on the web, we have CSS, JavaScript, etc. So if you look at the shortcomings of Apex, you have the framework which can build applications really fast. If it cannot do something, you can extend it with like PL SQL or with things on the web, like HTML5 components or JavaScript. So when something is not there, like you don't like the pop-up list of values, for example, that is in Apex, and you want something more fancy, you can go on the web and you can use that in Apex, but you have to build it yourself.
So like extensibility plugins?
Yeah. So Apex has a concept of plugins, so you can transform those extensions into plugins so they become more native in the framework. So some of the shortcomings, so one is like a tiny, like there are from those tiny ones, like the list of values, for example, which they want better, or you have version control, which it's a bit different in Apex than with other technologies. Another big one that people ask for is like reporting or printing. So they want to export to PDF or to Excel, and that's a bit harder. So Oracle has some tools, but the people, they don't like that yet. So we built a solution for that. So if there are any shortcomings, there are companies who provide extensions to Apex.
Okay.
So, for example, our extension for reporting is called Apex Office Sprint. It got a lot of adoption now in Apex, in the community, and people start to use that. But, yeah.
It's one of those funny things where I've always thought Application Express in that sense almost had a success crisis, in the sense of originally people thought, I'll just use it for little tiny applications, small departmental things that wouldn't be sort of taken all that seriously. And then people realized just how incredibly cool it was and how fast you could build these incredible things. And so all of a sudden people are going, well, no, this is an enterprise application tool. So I want printing, I want all the things that normal enterprise apps have. And that's where I suppose all these plugins and extensions come in. Your talk today, what's the topic of your talk today?
So the title is Building Awesome Responsive Database Web Applications with using Apex and the Oracle Cloud. So I will, this audience is very different from what I know. What I will show is how can you quickly create your database objects and how can you create Apex applications. So very low level, how do you get started in 2018 building applications?
I saw in the synopsis it said you're using a thing called QuickSQL. Is that a different language, or what is QuickSQL?
So QuickSQL is like a markdown kind of syntax where you type in words, and basically with QuickSQL you can create your database objects really, really fast. So it's the fastest way to build objects, tables, views, but it also has some really cool features. For example, if you want sample data, you can just say, okay, insert 50 records, and it will do that. It will generate code for you. So it will generate a script that you can just execute on your database, and it will create all the database objects. So
yeah, QuickSQL I think is really cool, because I think one of the stumbling blocks with any people developers building stuff on relational databases is we generally give them a blank canvas and we say, there you go. And they go, well, it's going to take me a day before I can actually start coding, because I've got to create tables, I've got to create indexes, etc.
But it's also using best practices. So when you look at some certain people, they say the database is just a black box. Whereas our view, like your view, my view, is to use the database at the full power. And the data is the most important part, so make sure it's really good. So a relational database, if you can use foreign keys, primary keys, unique keys, etc., it's really good to do that. And so QuickSQL has that built in as well.
So even though I'm using a markdown language, I'll still get effectively the best principles of data modeling and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. What about the other way around? If I didn't know QuickSQL existed and I laboriously typed in all my commands to create my tables and stuff, can I take that back into QuickSQL?
Yeah, so Oracle didn't provide that, but then I found it really cool to do a QuickSQL script. So I did a reverse engineering of reading the data dictionary, Oracle dictionary, and then generating QuickSQL out of your existing schema.
And so where can people find that tool?
You find it on my blog, gielisblogspot.com.
Okay, so Google for Dimitri's name. So is this your first Oracle code?
Yes. So it's very different. I've been around for since 2006. I'm going to Oracle conferences. But the Oracle code is in some way very different from the ones that I know, which were more database focused or Apex focused. And we are, like you said, a really nice community. Everybody knows each other. We are sharing with our hands. But you stay within the same group. Whereas here with Oracle code, it seems like a lot of younger people are coming from different technologies, like more the Java side or open source side. But also what I find really amazing here with the Oracle code is a lot of women are here as well.
Which is good. In fact, there's a Women in Technology lunch today, which anyone watching or anyone in the audience here should encourage to go along and observe. I also saw in your synopsis a term blueprint. I've never heard of the term blueprint before. What's that in regard to Application Express?
So with Apex, you can build your application really fast, but since the new version, or the one that's coming up, they made that one step further. So with Blueprint, what it's doing behind the scenes is creating some JSON representation of your application. So you can create a blueprint yourself. You can see it as like, this is the frame of the application I'm building. You can generate some JSON, hook that into Apex, and it will generate all the pages for you.
Okay.
So it's a new way of building applications even faster than before.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it fits like with, you have low-code development, which is a term that's used now a lot.
Everyone's talking about low code, yes, or
Yeah.
no code, or
no
yes,
code,
yes,
low
yes,
code. Like with Apex, you can start with low code, then you can do, but you can go all the way down. Like you can program the hell out of it afterwards, which other tools don't have.
And that's one of the things I like about that is there are so many, what we used to call 4GLs, but low code solutions where you get to follow their principles and their principles only. And if you don't like it, that's tough. It's all locked away from you. But Apex starts with that, but then you can extend and make it flexible and get right down to the nitty gritty.
And that's what I hope to show in my session today as well. Like I will show starting from low code development and how it's really fast. But then like those people, they really like to code, so I show how to hook up their own code.
So those people that come to your talk today and they, I'm sure they're going to go, wow, I've got to get myself into Apex. What's the easiest way someone can get started with Application Express?
You go to apex.oracle.com, you sign up for a free account, and it takes you there. Like start building something, there are some tutorials, there are some, well, it depends. Like you need to know the underlying technologies a little bit, SQL for example, so you can go to livesql.oracle.com. So there are
lots of options.
there.
Fantastic. Now I've got 30 seconds left. I'm going to put you on the spot here. I want you to look down the barrel and say, when people leave the conference today, what should they do tomorrow? What's the first thing they should do as developers tomorrow, having seen the conference today?
Write down what you saw and make a plan for what you want to learn next. You get a lot of inspiration, motivation out of this conference. So try to find your passion and try to start doing something which you feel passionate about.
No worries. Thanks for your time, Dimitri.
Thank you, Connor.
We'll be back with more interviews soon at Oracle Code Singapore. Stay on Twitter or Periscope, and we'll catch up with the YouTube replays later on today. See you all soon.